Welcome to the Clark Township Planning Board meeting, Thursday, February 5th, 2026. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, as adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing the annual scheduled meetings to the Star Ledger, the Leader, and the Union County Local Source by posting such annual meeting schedule on the bulletin board in Town Hall reserved for such announcements and the official website of the township, ourclark.com, in compliance with PL 2025 C72, effective March 1st, 2026, and the proper filing of said notice. Formal action may be taken at this meeting. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision, and decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. I will do roll call. Mayor Albanese?
Here.
Mr. Ulrich?
Here.
Councilman Manitti? Mr. Koch?
Here.
Mr. Steinberg?
Here.
Mr. Altman?
Here.
Mr. Gribb?
Here.
Mr. Gronkowski?
Here.
Mr. Gerstner?
Here.
Mr. Cecil? Mr. Fisher? Here. Mr. O'Connor?
Here.
Mr. Ricky? Here. Okay, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting minutes from January 8th? Any questions, discussions regarding those minutes? If not, I make a motion to approve those minutes. I have a second.
Second.
Thank
Who
you, Mayor.
seconded?
Mayor.
Oh,
All correspondence to the board is available at Town Hall for the public to review at their leisure. As such, I make a motion to dispense of the reading of the correspondence. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Resolution to approve planning board appointments. Has everyone had a chance to read that resolution? Any questions, any comments? Can I have a roll call vote?
oh, make a motion. Whose motion?
Oh, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Lance?
Lance, thank you, Lance.
Mayor Albanese?
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Altman?
Yes.
Mr. Steinberg?
Yes.
Mr. Gribb?
Yes.
Mr. Gronkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Gerstner?
Yes.
Resolution approved.
Site plan application, Spring Enterprise LLC, 8688 Westfield Avenue, Block 116, lots 1 and 2. Counselor?
Good evening, Chairman, board members, professionals. Stephen Hale, representing the applicant, Spring Enterprises LLC, and thank you all for coming out. Beautiful weather that we keep having, but yeah, this is an exciting project for Clark here. Property, obviously, you can see is located at 8688 Westfield Avenue, and we're looking to develop it with a three-story building. It would help if the mic was on. There we go. Could you hear me before? Okay. So again, looking to improve the property with a three-story building, approximately 7,000 square feet, with combination mixed-use residential upper floors, approximately 850 square feet of commercial space. It's great the way Clark does it, having the TRCs, DRCs, where we sit down with your board professionals, go through the plans, and it's been very helpful. And when we come to the board, we've got an application that we feel is very fitting with the development in Clark. This is a permitted use in the zone. Obviously, that's why we're here before the planning board. We've received both Mr. O'Connor and Mr. Ricky's reports and are prepared to address those. And again, proposing to demolish the existing building and put up this new building. I think you'll be impressed with the renderings that we have for the property. There is some relief that we're looking for by way of variances. One is, and we'll explain these in more detail, one is the front yard setback, and technically, it's the side yard on Fulton across from the gas station. We just feel that it makes for a better layout, and we'll provide justification for that variance. We do meet it along Westfield Avenue, but everyone's aware, we're surrounded by the American Legion, and just behind us is the outside area, and then so we don't feel there's any impact there. We are also looking for tandem parking spaces, and you hear from our testimony, they'll be assigned. Each of the residential units will have a tandem, so it's no different than a driveway. You've got two people that'll be using it, so we feel that that should work. And I know this board has approved and other projects that have the tandem. And then there's the exterior wall material. We think we're actually in keeping with the ordinance, but we'll provide testimony on that. So that's an overview of the application. Again, we've received the technical review reports from your planner and your engineer, and we're prepared to address those. So you've heard enough from me, and if there's no preliminary questions, I'd like to move forward with our architect, who's going to take us through floor plans, elevations, the rendering, and the layout for the site. So, Ivana, you want to come up? And I think, Jim, is this one on, or you can use this one probably. And we might need some help with the drive here.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you're under oath.
The keyboard and the mouse is there, but there's your drive. There you go.
Good evening. My name is Ivano Marulanda. Last name is Marulanda. Our office is located at 65 Springfield Avenue in Springfield. I've been with James Arguera PA for over 24 years. I graduated from Universidad Valle in Colombia. I am licensed architect in New Jersey. My license is current, and I also am NCAR certified.
I make a move to approve. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Mr. Merlanda.
Any opposed, abstain?
I'm sorry. Good to go?
Good to go.
Okay. So, Mr. Merlanda, if you could take the board through, as I indicated in my opening, an overview of floor plans, elevations, and the rendering that you prepared. And obviously touching on, we were sat through several DRCs, so I think we're prepared to address any of the comments.
Right. We've worked extensively with the township engineer and planner, and this is how we're coming up to this design with this number of apartments, which are 8 apartments. Of those, 6 are 2 bedrooms, and 2 of them are 3 bedrooms. They range in size between, in the 2 bedrooms, from 1,077 to 1,221. And the 2 3 bedrooms are 1311 and 1967. I'll start showing the submitted plans that you have. So this is sheet G100, dated January 16, 2026.
And this is a version, this is what was submitted to the board.
That is correct.
Correct.
Yes. So in this sheet, we're showing the first floor. Westfield is at the bottom of the page. Fulton is at the left of the page. So one of the mentions was the setback variance that we have towards Fulton, so that'll be towards the left. As was said earlier, we only have one neighbor, which is the American Legion, so there's no residential next to us. And directly across from our front is the gas station. So that setback actually allows us to provide a better parking layout with up to 3 cars by taking the small area into the setback. On the floor plan, lower left, you'll see the 850 square feet of the proposed commercial space. Next to it, there is a sprinkler room. The building will be fully sprinklered. Next to that, we have an area for storage for bicycles. And then to the right is the lobby and has access to the elevator and one of the stairs. Then further up on the drawing to the left, we have the second stair that goes out directly towards Fulton. And to the right, we have the refuge and recycling room. Again, this room is within the building. It has full walls. And the walls that are towards the outside are the same material colors as the rest of the elevation. Most of the first floor will be dedicated for parking. That will be shown a little bit better on the engineering. But yeah, we are requesting to be allowed to have tandem parking. Tandem parking will be assigned for each apartment. There is also a tandem park assigned for the employees of the commercial space. And then we have one spaces then for visitors and for people that are going to come in for the commercial space. Anybody that comes in for the commercial space will have access to the lobby, so they can come out of the front door towards the commercial space. The door. So we have a 20-foot wide garage door. There is a waiver regarding having a 22 access for a two-way. But we feel that this is a small parking lot for residential and a very small commercial area. So we don't see a lot of frequency where two vehicles will be passing at the same time. So a 20-foot, we feel that is a good dimension for that. This way I'll have some room for the mechanism for the door to be on each side, because the driveway is 22. Also to the right of the building, between the refuge room and the lobby, we have a wall that will enclose the parking on that side, so that the neighbor will shield them from any headlights or seeing the parking. Now this is sheet G101. Again, it's part of the application. Here we're looking at the second floor. Here we see 4 apartments, 2 of the 3-bedroom apartments and 2 of the 1-bedroom apartments. The layouts are very typical for the apartments around this area. So it's an open plan, kitchen, dining, living, all open. All apartments have 2 bedrooms and have their own laundry. And all the apartments are accessed by the elevator, and then we have 2 stairs at each corner. Regarding this building needs to affordable housing, and the idea is that they're going to provide 2 affordable apartments. The intention would be that those apartments will be located on this floor. So the 3-bedroom is apartment 3, and the 2-bedroom will be apartment 2.
And that meets the requirement.
That will meet the requirement, correct. So we'll have one that is a 3-bedroom and one is that is a 2-bedroom. Next sheet is G102, again, as part of the application. We here see 4 apartments, all 2 bedrooms, and this floor is smaller. So we were able to set the building back from the from the right side, and we're providing an open terrace. So tenants there have an access to an exterior space where they can, enjoy some exterior area. Also, it allows the building towards that side or to the neighbor to be just a 2-story building, or seem a 2-story building, because the 3rd floor is stepped back on that side. Sheet G103 is just the roof plan. I don't have any more anything like that. Then it's sheet G200. Here we're showing the elevations. The first elevation on the upper left is the Westfield Avenue elevation. Then on the right side is the right side elevation. And here we're showing how the building completely enclosed to the neighbor. So it will not have any issues with the headlights, or the parking won't be visible on that side. Further down to the left is the Fulton Street elevation. That's the one where we're seeking the relief for the variance, setback variance. And you'll see to the left that we're proposing the parking to be fully enclosed. So we're proposing a 4.5 high wall to shield headlights to the neighbor properties. And then it's completed by a 1.5 foot of metal fencing to provide a 6-foot enclosure of the open parking. And further down to the right is the rear elevation, and you can see now where the wall shields the headlights and for neighbors to see the parking of the building. So the next one will be an exhibit. We revised the rendering based on conversations that we had with the planner and engineer. So this will be an exhibit.
And we request, once it's in, to be marked as A1 with today's date.
So on this rendering view, we're at the corner of Westfield, that will be all towards the right, and Fulton towards the left. There is really no architectural style that is uniform around the area. We did, the owner of this building also previously built another building, 60 Westfield Avenue, just 2 blocks away. So it's keeping within the same architectural style of that building too. So it makes it for uniformity when you're driving along Westfield. I know there's an interest for the colonial elements. We do have, that sort of rectangular massing that usual colonial architecture has. We do provide large rectangular windows, and on the left side we're using the like a gable roof, which is typical for that type of architecture. On the first floor, we're using integral color masonry units, which is recommended material for that area. And then on the second, third, and parapet, we're using fiber cement panels. Now, these are not fiber cement panels meant to look like masonry, which I think is what is not permitted. So these are fiber cement panels, but some of them have a vertical slats, or seem like vertical slats, and then we have other ones that are just larger panels.
And just to clarify, the ordinance specifies it's not precluding fiber cement panels, it's precluding fiber cement masonry panels.
Right, masonry, which, yeah, they're not masonry, and they're not trying to replicate masonry either. So we believe that this is a good material, also the similar material that we use on the prior other building further along the street. There was a recommendation of having the vertical panels like we have, like the color brown. So we're using those type of elements that are on the ordinance for this area. We did wanted to break it to give it a little facade articulation, some visual breaks. So we do have some larger panels that are white that breaks the other vertical panels. So we're trying to keep it into basically 3 primary colors. On the first floor is a light tan on the first floor. And then above and on the parapet, we're using a brown and white. The parapet will also carry the same brown on the dentils and white. And then we have some molding that will be the black and gray molding that we have, which also is carried over for the balcony. We have black railing, and the doors and windows have black frame. All of those materials and colors are consistent on all 4 sides. So this carries on all 4 sides. Any mechanical equipment will be on the roof. We put the mechanical equipment around the middle of the roof. Plus we have the parapet. So any mechanical equipment there will be shielded from view from the street. Yeah, and I don't know if you have any questions also.
And it will meet, obviously, it's fully sprinkled, meet all ADA requirements and other requirements?
Correct.
And any comments or objections to any of the reviews from either the planner or the engineer for the board?
No, we'll be able to reply with anything. Oh, regarding the sign also, there will be a sign on top of the door of the commercial space. That sign will be meant to meet the ordinance, which is based on the horizontal length of only the commercial space, and that we will meet that. We do want to put a name next to the entrance of the main apartment. So that'll be a second sign, but it will just be the name of the building. And, it'll be a typical, 1 foot high sign just with the name of the building.
Mr. Chairman, no further questions of Mr. Miranda at this time?
Yes, is the back of the building over the parking spots, or is the parking spots in open air?
Part of it. So the first, I'll put the plan up again. Let's go to the first floor. So these spots are under the building. This hatch line right here is the edge of the building. They're tandem, so they're going to be other spaces here, which we'll see in the engineering plans. Those are open to the sky. They're not covered.
No, you were just showing, aren't those the tandem spots where the little hand is?
Yeah, the tandem will be right here. So the engineering you will see the whole site, and you'll see that all the spaces have the additional spaces. So the tandem is, these are the back spots, and then will be the front spots.
All right. Okay.
How many businesses are going to be in the business area in the first floor? The first floor is businesses, correct?
There is a small 850 square foot commercial space.
So it's one
Just
business?
one, correct.
Okay. And parking for the business piece, street parking?
Parking is included here for business, correct?
You indicated that you're 2 feet short on the opening for clear two-way traffic. Your justification is it's a small parking lot, doesn't seem to be very solid. Is there any other justification you could give us?
Well, we're providing the 22 aisle is just a door, and I just need some area so that the mechanism of the door, I can put it next to the rails. It's just for the space of the door so it can work. I can't find the door that can go all the way to the edge. So it's for the mechanism of the door.
Mr. Chairman, our engineer will touch on that in more detail for ingress and egress.
We also have 2 letters from our planner and engineer. Will somebody be going through them? The engineer?
Engineer, yes, although we think we've addressed everything, and again, it's great how we do it here with having our conferences, our technical review committee meetings, and development ahead of time.
Why don't you have an entrance in the parking lot for the commercial space?
It's a very small commercial space, and to kind of make sure we have enough parking for everybody, we're using the lobby for that purpose. Anybody that coming from the commercial space will not be able to go into the elevator or stairs, as they will need a special fob to go into those spaces. And when the commercial space is closed, that garage door is closed, and nobody, only the tenants will be able to access it.
So there's going to be a garage door,
It will be a garage door, correct?
and there'll be card access for it to open and close, or?
Correct. So while the commercial space is operational, there'll be, once you approach the door, it will open. But once the commercial space is closed, you will need your opener to open the garage
Get
door.
in and out. Anybody else from the board have questions for this witness? Seeing none, I make a motion to open it to the public. Have a second? Aye. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Anyone from the public wishing to come forward and ask questions of this witness, specifically of his testimony, please do so. If you have general comments or concerns, that will be addressed at the end of the testimonies. Please come forward, state your name.
Delia Collins Clark. I just wanted to ask a question. Of the 8 apartments, 2 of them will be affordable, the 2-bedroom and the 3-bedroom?
Correct.
How come there's no more 1-bedrooms in a unit like this, in a building like this, where it's basically needed for seniors because they don't qualify for a 2-bedroom?
For affordable, we couldn't provide the 1-bedroom for affordable.
Oh, is there a
That's part
rule?
of, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to come forward to ask questions of this witness? Seeing no one, I make a motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Next witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did you do it after? Okay. I'd now like to call upon our site engineer, Scott Lovrich.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Scott Lovrich, spelled L-O-V as in Victor, E-R-I-C-H, of Neglia Group, business address 34 Park Avenue, Lyndhurst, New Jersey. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. My license is active and good standing. I've had the pleasure of being before this board this past summer and numerous other boards in Bergen County.
Move to accept.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mr.
All in
Chairman.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Please proceed.
Great, thank you again. All right, Mr. Lovrich, you're obviously well familiar with this project. You've heard the testimony of Mr. Miranda. If you could take the board through the engineering aspects of the project, and again, addressing any of the concerns of the board engineer, Mr. O'Connor, and the board planner, Mr. Ricky.
Absolutely. So to begin, the subject property is known as Block 116, Lots 1 and 2, and as part of this application, we're proposing to consolidate both Lots 1 and 2. The lot has a total area of both lots combined of 11,999 square feet, and it's located in the township's downtown village district. It has frontages on Westfield Avenue, which is a county route 613, and Fulton Street. And to the east, southeast of the property is bordered by the American Legion property. So up on the screen is the site plan package that has been submitted before the board. I'm on sheet, I believe, 2.00, which is the existing conditions and demolition plan. And just for orientation purposes, to the bottom of the page is the west and Westfield Avenue. Towards the top of the page is generally to the east, with Fulton Street towards the north to the left-hand side of the page. So as part of this application, the existing conditions of the site is a vacant medical use building that's going to be demolished as part of this application, along with the paved area towards the rear of the site will be removed for the for the purposes of the proposed project. And then the next sheet of the site plan set is site plan sheet 3.00, and I'll begin with the setbacks to the building itself. Along Westfield Avenue, we have a 15 yards front yard setback proposed, where 15 feet is required. To Fulton Street, we have a 10-foot front yard setback, where 15 feet is required. And to the rear, we provide 20-foot setback, where 20 feet is required, and to the adjacent property to our southeast, we have a 0 setback where 0 is required. And then moving to the access to the site, it'll be serviced by a newly proposed full-service driveway along Fulton Street. It'll have a width of 22 feet, which leads to a garage door of 20 feet in width. As we previously heard, the garage door will be motion censored during the active business hours of the retail use, and then afterwards it'll be security access via a mechanism for the private residents. As we move interior to the building, it provides a 22-foot wide drive aisle to access the parking spaces. In my opinion, 22 feet is basically the minimum that you can do to have safe means of circulation for the site. So in my opinion, this is wide enough to safely circulate the site. We've done sites, Neglia, I myself, have done sites with similar buildings, similar parking layouts before, number of them in Elizabeth and in Union County, and without any issues brought to us. That is the site. So we do provide 24 total parking spaces, one of which is a van accessible ADA parking space. 20 of them are tandem parking spaces, and then 3 remaining standard spaces along the Westfield Ave building side. So as you previously heard, each of the 8 units will be assigned a tandem parking space, and they will function similar to a driveway. Per the township's ordinance, the retail space alone requires 6 spaces. So our proposal is to have one tandem assigned to the retail space. The idea is to have that function for employees, so they would have the ability to maneuver cars around as they need. And then the spaces along the building side to be reserved for the retail use. And then all the spaces are 9 feet wide by 18 feet long, which is a standard parking space. And then as we mentioned, we are seeking variance relief for the tandem spaces. In my opinion, providing these tandem spaces and that we meet the ordinances for parking supply is a benefit as opposed to having cars on Fulton Street. We can fit them on our site, so the benefits of providing this tandem layout outweigh any of the detriments associated with it, and I don't see any detriments with the tandem parking spaces. And with I forgot to mention we do have 4 EV charging stations. They're on the side of Westfield Avenue. Those 4 spaces, including the ADA space, will be preset for electric vehicle charging stations in accordance with the state statutes. And then inside was mentioned the trash enclosure, which is fully enclosed by the building itself, will be contracted a private hauler to remove the trash. And other site improvements include a flagpole along Westfield Avenue. We have new concrete walkways to all the doors, 1 on Fulton Street and 4 on Westfield Avenue. Off-site improvements that we're proposing are new curb and sidewalk along Fulton Street for the complete frontage of the property. We will reconstruct the ADA curb ramp at the corner of Fulton and Westfield Avenue and provide new streetscape improvements along Westfield Avenue for our frontage, which include new concrete stamped pavers that meet the characteristic of the surrounding properties, along with 2 benches and 3 decorative light fixtures. So briefly to just touch on the side yard setback variance that was mentioned, we are proposing 10 feet to Fulton Street where 15 feet is required. And when I see the overall application here, the proposal of this project, we have 2 affordable units. We have open space on the terrace at the top of the building, and we provide adequate parking. All these things together, I think, enhance or advance the master plan of the township by providing the affordable housing units. Also, the municipal land use law by providing an appropriate density. We meet the density of the zone, so the benefits of this project as a whole outweigh any of the detriments I see associated with that variance, and I don't see that this variance has any detriment.
I think in our preparation talked about, and it was touched on earlier, across the street you have the gas station, and I believe you also indicated that the actual distance from the building to the curb line is significant.
Approximately 20 feet from the building to the curb line. Correct. So I'm going to move to sheet 4.0, which is the grading plan. Much of the building we still designed to drain naturally because we do have a portion of the parking spaces that are open to the air, so we don't want any water ponding on our site. So it's generally, the parking area is generally sloped to the center where we have our subsurface stormwater detention basin. The rest of the grading of the site perimeter sort of gently slopes from the foundation to Fulton Street and Westfield Avenue in those lawn areas. I'm just going to go to the drainage and utility plan, sheet 5.0. where it indicates the proposed stormwater measures we have for the site. So the project is not considered a major development by the state of New Jersey. However, we designed this in accordance with township ordinances, and what we are proposing is a basin that has 270 linear feet of 24-inch HDPE pipe. It provides exactly 899 cubic feet of storage, or about 6,700 gallons. And what it does it'll release water at a reduced controlled rate when compared to existing conditions into the existing system that is in Westfield Avenue. And we did receive the letter from your board engineer, last dated January 30th, I believe. Comment 4A was with respect to where we were proposing to tie into the existing town system, which we were proposing into Fulton Street, and we don't have the benefit of a survey showing the existing pipe up into Fulton Street to make this connection, is what the board engineer raised. So what we're proposing to do, should the board look favorably on the application, is propose a new doghouse manhole it'll be the western corner of our site, over where the existing pipe sort of crosses our property. So we would drop a new structure on top of the existing pipe and tie in our system into that. And we know that your board engineer will reserve the right to review that, and we would certainly agree to comply with any comments that he has with respect to that change. And then moving on to utilities, it's on the same sheet. We're proposing all new utility connections to this new building, water, gas, electric, sanitary sewer. We'll coordinate the sanitary sewer connection with the township and the rest of the utilities with the local utility providers. And we've submitted a will serve request letter to New Jersey American Water to confirm their availability of services for this site. And then moving to lighting and landscaping improvements, which is on the following sheet 6. For lighting, we are proposing numerous ceiling-mounted area lights that will be mounted on the ceiling of the garage to illuminate the parking area. We have several wall-pack mounted lighting surrounding the exterior of the building over each doorway. And then additionally, we have 3 decorative light fixtures, decorative light poles along the streetscape of Westfield Avenue. And as for landscaping, we have 5 shade trees, 2 on Fulton Street, 3 on Westfield Avenue, and a variety of foundation plantings around Fulton Street and Westfield Avenue to cover the foundation of the building. That concludes testimony.
And again, as the chair mentioned before, no issues with the review letters from either the planner, Mr. Ricky, or Richard O'Connor, the board engineer, and you'll work with Mr. O'Connor on that updated stormwater system.
Correct. We have no issues with complying with any of the outstanding comments of both of those letters.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, no further questions of Mr. Lovrich at this time?
Yes. There's 2 catch basins that are directly connected to this system. There's actually several points. You can see here there's 3 rows of pipe. Towards the end of the drive aisle, we have a manhole on each corner. We have 2 in the center. They're hard to see, the catch basins, but they're basically open-grade catch basins in the middle of the system. They'll just dump into the system. So there's access from those 2 points. The little rectangle you see on the site is over the basin is what we call an outlet control structure, which is the mechanism that we use to reduce the flow rate. But though that has a lid on it that you can access for maintenance. And the basin itself is pitched very slightly at 0.2% to help. It's like a self-cleaning mechanism from back to front, so that any of the grit that accumulates over time kind of naturally flushes itself. But we also provided a maintenance manual for this. It'll get filed with the project, the deed of the project, to provide yearly maintenance for this.
Will there be signage indicating where resident parking only?
That's the intent, correct? sort of signage to assign the parking spaces?
Yes, for each unit will be designated with assigned parking.
You said there were 6 spots needed for the commercial space, 2 being tandem. I see 3 more possible in the single space. That's 5. Where's the 6th tandem spot going to, or where's the 6th commercial spot going to be?
The ADA space can't technically be assigned, so it's sort of in the calculation, but you can't assign the accessible space to a resident or to somebody. But we do have 1 leftover tandem for overflow parking. There's 10 tandems, 8 for the residences, 1 for the retail, 1 for an overflow if needed.
But if a commercial person parks in the open area and then somebody pulls in behind them, they're stuck.
I would imagine you wouldn't pull all the way up the tandem, you would just take the first space of it.
Anybody else on the board have any questions? Could you just go through the letters indicating what's acceptable and what isn't, or has been complied with?
Just identify the date, and I guess we'll go off the latest.
What I'm referencing is Mr. O'Connor's letter, technical review number 3, last dated January 30th, 2026. Comment 1 begins with planning and zoning. A is we're proposing to consolidate the 2 lots, and a deed consolidation and legal descriptions would be provided for that consolidation. We have no problem providing that. The next comment was with respect to testimony in support of the tandem variance, which I believe we provided. The third had to do with the refuse area being fully enclosed or not. On a prior iteration of the plans, there was an open space there which didn't comply with the ordinance, so we put in the wall to fully enclose that trash enclosure so that it met the ordinance. And then to the site plan comments, the architect previously provided testimony with respect to the architectural wall that's along the rear of the property. It's shown on the site plans. We referenced the architectural plan where it shows it in more detail, but that's just the wall with the fence on top in the rear of the property. And then the next comment was with respect to the garage width and the driveway aisles, which we provided testimony to. And then the drainage comment is what I was referencing with our new proposal to provide that structure in the corner of the property in lieu of what we currently show on the plans. An operation and maintenance manual, which we have provided, and will comply with any comments if there's any comments on that maintenance manual for the maintenance of the underground drainage system. I did forget to mention landscaping. We will provide an irrigation system for the landscaping on site, and we'll coordinate with the Shade Tree Committee and Director for a review of the landscaping that we provided, and we would agree to take into any consideration the comments provided by them. We discussed the affordable housing units. 2 are proposed. The county application we submitted.
We have submitted our county application, and we'll provide a copy to the board once we receive it. Again, we don't expect any issues because there's no ingress and egress from Westfield Avenue.
Right, and providing testimony on site circulation and parking, site access. We submitted the will serve letter to American Water for the availability of their service supply. We sent confirmation in our last packet to the township. The following comments are the developer's agreement and.
Yes, we've discussed that with council, and we will prepare the developer's agreement and provide it to council and your board for a review.
And we'll prepare the necessary sewage demand flow calculations and provide them to the town for application for the sewer flow.
And then with respect to Mr. Ricky's,
Wait, before you proceed on that, Mr. O'Connor, is that all
I'm sorry.
satisfactory to you? The responses?
I'm satisfied that the applicant's been cooperative and responsive.
And that 22 reduced opening, is that okay?
I've seen you approve less. It's what I would consider the minimum for two-way drive access.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Ricky's.
then we have Mr. Ricky's review. I think we've touched on a lot of it, and again, we went through this at the TRC, but if you could briefly touch on this letter.
Beginning with, description of the site, which we had provided, and we went through the variances that we were requesting. Mr. Mariulanda testified to the exterior finishes of the building. Variances, use. So I think we provided testimony in support of the variance relief that we're requesting. If there's any comments, Mr. Ricky, if
It might be easier. It's
the lighting?
there's only a few remaining items, if anything. Regarding point 3 on page 3, we mentioned the variance and the waivers again. The applicant addressed operations. We pointed out, architecture, what the intent of the district was, and the architect discussed that. And just to be clear, it's the fact that these are panels is what's requiring the variance. It's not that they're fiber cement. The ordinance allows brick, masonry units, and actually says not panels. So that's the variance. Allows wood clapboard, cedar shingles, and vertical boards. So just to be clear what the variance is. That's what that was intended to clarify. They indicated at a TRC meeting that all HV equipment will be screened. The yield, we just discussed that again because that was previously an issue as part of the initial application, and we confirmed that they're in compliance with zoning. Again, it discusses the affordable housing set aside and how that's being delivered, and that's in compliance. Here, the applicant could have built 2 units or built 1 affordable unit and paid a fee, and they decided to build the 2 units. This is beneficial for the township in meeting its past round affordable housing obligation, so that's a positive element. And the letter addresses that they do adhere to the UHAC regulations for how those affordable units are delivered. I'll skip over traffic. We acknowledge that they meet the parking requirements and actually exceed parking requirements. Again, we mentioned the variance, so a lot of this is just almost creating a planning record of what they did achieve. I did not, I guess Mr. Connor did, I didn't see any of the streetscaping plans, but that's streetscape plans. That's a condition of approval for you to look at, or?
They have their streetscape.
Okay, okay, because okay. I didn't review the update on that. And the signage, did anything change? That's really for the architect. Maybe we'll come back. Did anything change from the TRC? At one point, you mentioned that you were going to add a secondary sign. Did that ever occur?
Right, if permitted, we would like to add the name of the building at the front entrance. That'll be the second sign.
Do you have any testimony regarding that? Because I believe that second sign may require additional relief, correct?
Right.
So did you show that?
I'm sorry?
Did you show that sign? I don't recall.
The sign is on the rendering, yes.
Or did you just show it to the board, or?
You barely see it because all the way to the right. So it will be a small sign just with the name. See, do we show it on the other ones? Yep. It's hard to zoom in. Yeah, zooming is not. So it's all the way to the right side. You can see it right here. That will be just the name of the building. If it's an issue, then we just can eliminate it. It's not a.
Can you just provide the general dimensions?
Sure. It will be a foot high and say, what is it?
Okay, so it's very modest, but my understanding is I'd have to pull the ordinance up again, but the second sign does require variance.
Right.
For the second sign.
Yes,
So
correct.
You're now amending your application to seek that variance, correct?
That's
You're
the- that
amending
was
your
the-
application to seek that variance?
Yes.
Okay. Two signs. The solid waste was addressed, streetscape was addressed. And just to clarify what the architect is up, the changes to the architectural plans that you made were really solely related to the number of, the use of color, correct?
Correct. Yes,
Okay, and now you're using just the three colors rather than some additional variation.
that's correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Will the affordable units be finished different, or are all the units going to be finished the same?
They'll have the same finishes.
Okay. And the open-air parking in the rear, there was some sort of discussion about a small wall. Will there be fencing or other shielding on top of that, or kids could just jump over that wall into the parking?
It's a 4.5 wall that will shield the headlights, and then we'll top it off with a 1.5 foot of metal fencing, so you get to 6 foot.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Any?
Scott, could you just introduce the location of the 4 EV spaces and explain the credit to the board?
Yes. So I'm just circulating back to the site plan sheet. So the state statute requires that we provide 15% of the calculated required parking supply as make-ready EVSE parking stations. So we are providing them at the, I'll call, along the Westfield side, towards the bottom of the page, next to the handicap parking space. Those 4 spaces will all be make-ready EV spaces. In compliance with the state statute, we're required to provide 4. We provide the 4. With providing the 4, we get a up to 10% credit against the parking calculation. So I believe when you do the math of what the required parking is for the site, per your ordinances, it's 22 parking spaces. When you provide EV parking spaces per the state statute, you're allowed to reduce that number up to 10%, or essentially EV parking spaces count double towards your requirement. So the way I think it's easier to interpret it is that it reduces the required parking, in our case, by 2 parking spaces to 20, where we provide the 24 physical parking spaces.
Thank you for the clarification. Anyone else on the board have any questions, comments? Thank you, Lance.
The tandem spots, that's all inside the building, not from the outside?
No, a portion of it is open to the sky. So I'm going to try and zoom in here.
That's where
There's a
I was
dashed line just below, the midpoint of the tandem spaces. That dashed line is the building above line. So anything past.
Okay, so the cars are not touching each other, there's a wall in between?
No, it's an open tandem, but the building line above, the rear tandem is not covered by the building.
Oh, okay.
That's yes.
In the back of the building, that's the street line in the back, so there's nothing to get in back of the building?
In the rear of the building.
No access to the back of the building?
There's no access to the back. It's covered by the architectural wall, which was 5 feet and 1 foot of fence.
6 foot.
It's 6 foot in overall height.
The same as the enclosure of the parking.
And the back tandem spots on the outside of the building, you can't get into the underneath the building from those spots. You can only access them from the inside of the garage, correct?
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance.
So for snow removal in those uncovered spots, if the full building and the full parking lot is enclosed, what would be the plan first? You know, last week we got over a foot. What would you do in that circumstance?
You're gonna have to coordinate the parking with the residents and haul it away.
Some green space. So there is green space. So this is the outside, right? So any snow that gets accumulated here, part of their snow can be removed to this area that we have here, green space. Other part can be removed to this area, there's green space.
And to address the comment, and great comment, especially with the winter we've had, we have no problem incorporating into the developer's agreement that there's so fall that the property ownership will need to remove that and make sure those spaces are accessible, because I don't think you're going to push it up inside there.
Has any preliminary inquiries or discussions about what might come into the commercial area been made yet?
We've kicked it around, and probably obviously that small area is something that's fitting, whether it be a small business or coffee shop, retail.
Compete with the coffee shop in your other building? Any other questions on the board?
Yeah, I have one. You have a retail space inside the building. How will is that for the customers or is that for the employees?
We have for both. We have parking for the employees and customers.
So you have a garage door, though. How will they be able to access that?
So when the business is open, the garage will open as a motion sensor. As you approach it, it will open and you'll be able to park. When the business is closed, it will no longer do that. You would have to have the mechanism to open it for only the tenants.
So anyone can just drive in and go into these spots?
During operating hours, yes, correct.
And into the building?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
I got a question. Excuse me, so how are these garage doors going to be controlled after the commercial spot is closed? And if if no one is in that commercial spot, will that door just stay closed until there's someone occupying that space?
Correct.
And then who controls after hours that door? Is it by?
It will have to be programmed for the hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I have one more. Is there like a mailbox select area in the lobby, or?
Yes, we have a large lobby, and mail boxes will be located there.
Okay, thank you.
Since there's no entrance to the commercial in the back, any deliveries will be, I guess, on Westfield Avenue?
But most likely Fulton Street. Westfield Avenue has posted no parking signs or standing.
Any other questions of the board? Seeing none, I make a motion to open it to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to come forward to ask questions of this witness in his testimony. Have a second? Second. Thank you, Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone from the public wishing to come forward to ask questions of this witness? He's a friendly guy. Seeing no one come forward, I make a motion to close.
Motion.
Second by, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
And Mr. Chairman, we have no further witnesses, but obviously whoever's testified is here to comment. And again, I want to again thank the board professionals and obviously Donna and the group. Having these, as I've mentioned before, having the TRCs and going through this plan ahead of time just makes the presentation and the feedback we get from the board much more meaningful. And again, these are experienced developers, in having done another building right up the street in Westfield, and I think it's a well-designed and welcome addition to this site, and we look forward to the board moving forward and approving the application. And again, no problem including, again, the snow removal and other items into a developer's agreement.
Okay. At this point, anyone wishing to come forward from the public with any comments regarding this application, this is the time. I make a motion to open it to the public. Second, Lance?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Anyone from the public wishing to come forward to make any comments regarding this application, please do so. Seeing no one come forward, I make a motion to close to the public. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Counselor, would you like to do a summation?
Again, as I said before, Mr. Chairman, I think it's a well-designed project. It fits in with, generally with the zoning with a few minor deviations. We've, again, had the ability to work with your board planner, engineer, and the other ones of the committee, and we would look forward to the board approving this so the project can move forward. And they're anxious to get going. We should have the county approval shortly, which we'll send out, and I'll work with board council and municipal council to get a developer's agreement prepared and approved. So, and we thank the board for its continued efforts on development of Clark and the Westfield Avenue corridor.
Thank you, Counselor. Before we make a motion, could you give us a summation of the variances, and if you could concur with them?
So we have, as far as I can tell, 4 variances now. The first one would be front yard. Front yard of at least 15 feet is required and 10 feet is proposed on the Fulton Street frontage. The second would be to permit tandem parking spaces. The third would be that exterior walls are finished with, sorry, which one is it? Panels rather than, which are not permitted in the zone. And the fourth one is for a second sign, which is not permitted. However, I don't believe I got a full description of the size of that sign. I got 1 by blank, 1 foot by blank. I don't know if we have one.
Alex, is your mic on? Sorry. You gotta- Can you repeat that so it's recorded?
Sorry, the entire thing?
Just quickly.
Sure. You have 4 variances required. One is front yard, 15 feet required, 10 feet proposed on the Fulton Street frontage. 2 is to permit tandem parking spaces where they're not permitted. 3 is for using panels for the exterior walls. And the 4th would be for a second sign in the, which is not permitted in the zone. And I was looking for the size of that sign.
Yes, I just spoke to Mr. Merlanda, and would be no more than 1 foot by 3 foot for building identification.
I would also note that the applicant will enter into developer's agreement. That developer's agreement will include traditional compliance mechanisms and also address snow removal. The applicant will comply with the planning and engineering review letters. I believe that is all I have for conditions at this time.
Thank you, Counselor. Any discussion from the board? Any comments? Seeing none, would somebody like to make a motion to approve or deny this application?
Motion.
Lance, you make a
Second.
motion? Who's second?
Second.
Me.
I just made a motion.
You made a motion, second.
Who made the motion?
Lance.
Kevin? Lance, and who second?
EA. We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote?
Mayor Albanese?
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Altman?
Yes.
Mr. Steinberg?
Yes.
Mr. Gribb?
Yes.
Mr. Gronkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Gerstner?
Yes.
Application approved.
Thank you, as always, and have a great night.
All right, on to resolution. amendment to the fourth round Housing and Fair Share Plan. Has everyone had a chance to review that resolution? Any questions and comments? Seeing none, I make a motion to approve the resolution. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich? Mr. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Altman?
Yes.
Mr. Steinberg?
Yes.
Mr. Gribb?
Yes.
Mr. Gronkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Gersner?
Yes.
Resolution approved.
Resolution authorizing redevelopment study. Resolution authorizing the undertaking of a preliminary investigation to determine whether the property identified as Block 34, Lot 25.01, also known as 737 Raritan Road, or the old Exxon site, on the tax map of the Township of Clark, qualify for designation as an area in need of non-condemnation redevelopment. As everyone had, was the resolution that was in the packet, right?
Yeah.
Everyone had a chance to review that? Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I make a motion to approve that resolution. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Roll call vote?
Mayor Albanese?
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich?
Yes.
Mr. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Altman? Mr. Steinberg?
Yes.
Mr. Gribb?
Yes.
Mr. Gronkowski?
Yes.
Mr. Gersner?
Yes.
Resolution approved.
Public session. Anyone from the public wishing to come forward to address any matters for the board? This is your time to do so. I make a motion to open up to the public. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone from the public wishing to come forward? Seeing none, I make a motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Lance. All in favor?
Wait, stop.
My name is Gabrielle Arruda. I live at Parkway, 33C Parkway Drive. I'm a third-generation resident of Clark. In terms of, this is full public comments now, or just the last resolution, to be clear?
This was for full public.
Okay, great. So I grew up in Clark. I left for 18 years after going to college and living in various countries around the world, pursuing a career in philosophy and art. I own an art gallery based in New York City. I would like to bring public art programming to Clark in a variety of ways. I've spoken at a town council meeting, and I've spoken privately in following up with Councilman Toll. I need to follow up with him again, but I'd like to speak to you all first, so maybe see what comes of it. And so my understanding is that I would need to help encourage the board to pass an ordinance to perhaps tie some funding to these new development projects that could go to public art, perhaps to have walls designed in a way that could have murals on them, for example. There are a lot of, kind of bleak gray stone walls around town, and there are a few murals that have popped up. I don't use the Clark Post Office that often, but most recently when I was back there, I noticed that the veterinarians have put up a quite a cute mural there, and for what is otherwise a pretty bleak, chilly walk into the post office was more delightful and impacted my well-being in a positive way. And with a lot of development coming to this town, I think that something that would help us, especially with the 250th anniversary of this country, moving forward and trying to grow as a community, if we were to highlight public art in a way, it would impact children in this town and adults as well. We could have murals that honor our veterans, a variety of projects. And I'm working on a proposal for Councilman Toll for 6 walls in town that currently exist that I think would really be enhanced and enhance the culture and the quality of this town if there were artworks on them. I'm also interested in doing a public sculpture project that I don't know how much that would involve you folks, but that's something I'd also like to do. But the idea is that, for example, I don't think you've passed the pilot yet for the old AMP property. But if you were to do that, I think you still have the power to financially bind them to contributing financially to public art, either by adding sculpture to the grounds, some kind of fountain feature, lighting feature, or to have a wall that could have a permanent or rotating mural on it. And I think that that would greatly improve the lives of Clark residents. I was a little surprised, I think it was you, Mr. Ulrich, recently, with just the concept of that there's like the downtown village, redevelopment. And I have had the privilege of living in a couple villages over the years, and from living in what is like undeniably a village, I don't get a village sensibility from Clark or from Westfield Avenue, and I think that there are ways where we could incorporate art or lighting to make it a more attractive place to promenade down the street from one business to the next. Also along these lines, this is more of a Hail Mary toss idea. Like, I don't think it's crazy that we could maybe put murals on walls in this town, and ask businesses to support that, be businesses that are more firmly established here or not. But I don't know if anybody has ever pitched the idea to you about developing Campbell Place. Campbell Place, the small road in between Dairy Queen and the Cardsmart. So I know that there is the barrier there, and I understand from talking to managers of the businesses there that portion of the road is used for trucks to make deliveries, but you do have those ballards there, and behind that potentially could become, so like if you look up what makes up the definition of a downtown village, we don't meet many of the characteristics of it, but one of the qualities that makes a downtown village is a pocket park. And that is a space that could be developed into a pocket park, especially if you're going to take down a historic building like the funeral parlor, where Abraham Clark's family lived, right? So we're going to take down a beautiful Victorian historic home that is like, what we can speak of as one of the significant architectural features here, and put up kind of a pedestrian brutalist apartment building. If there could be a place to congregate, like you're not supposed to loiter outside of Quick Check, and they push children away, but used to have many, senior citizens that are standing outside that place with coffee in the mornings, and there's a lack of dignity or well-being for our citizens because there's nowhere to sit. And of course it creates the trash, people will litter, that's how people are. But in my grand vision of it, we could turn that into a place where there is seating for people. And this is not oriented towards children. This is oriented towards adults to be able to come. And of course, you're going to have children sitting there that have their parents take them to Dairy Queen. And maybe Dairy Queen on a corporate level can contribute money to it, because how many millions of dollars has Dairy Queen made off of residents of Clark over the course of the last several decades? But also, if we were to collaborate with the Polish Cultural Foundation and redo that fence that's there, that's also kind of an eyesore on the Polish Cultural Foundation side, and make that have, there could be murals on there that are either permanent or, even if it's permanent, it needs to be updated, or it could rotate with vinyl and have some nice public art or some lighting there. And also we could do some native planting to bring some, birds to the area or what have you. But that would be a place where you could center downtown. I mean, there's pockets of downtown that exist here, but there is no firm established downtown. And if that's what you're hoping to do, you want to bring a couple hundred more residents to Westfield Avenue. Where are people going to go? What are people going to do? Where can people sit and enjoy the neighborhood and have a sense of community? And so, however, again, I need to follow up to ask for an ordinance that you bind people who are coming to this town to develop to contribute financially to a public arts program. What the rules are for me to approach businesses to ask them if they are willing to put up a mural. If you look at the new, the The storage lockers, yeah, there are 3 very interesting architectural lunettes on the side of that building that would look great if it had a mural painted on it. And it could be industry, history, and growth of Clark. It could be, you know, because that has forever been, to me, what downtown was. Going to Vaccaro's Bakery, you know, and going to the dance studio for me as a child was downtown here. And you come out of that shopping center and you're hit with, you know, another brick building. And so we could strategically put art in various places here. And I don't know whether or not they got a tax break to put up that storage facility. But to grow as a community, to make it more beautiful, to increase the well-being of our residents, I implore you to do something to help me, help you bring art to this town in a meaningful way. And I say that also feeling like I have skin in the game because my grandfather built a lot of this town. He built Valley Road School, he built the synagogue, he built the Clark Pool, he built the shooting range for the police officers, all those sidewalks that just got ripped up on Valley Road. My grandfather laid that back in the day. So I'd never intended to come back here, you know, after being 18 and leaving, and the circumstances of my life have brought me back to Clark, and I do intend to stay here for life. And so I would love to bring all of the resources and education and wisdom and knowledge and everything I've achieved in my career to help impact Clark in a positive way. So I'd love to speak with you in whatever the appropriate mechanism is outside of this dynamic and see what can happen. So
I don't think this board has the jurisdiction to start an ordinance. That starts at the council level.
I don't know
They
the
start
process that well.
with something, if it includes zoning, it comes back to us so we can have public hearing and comment on it. It's a very noble cause, and I'm sure we would entertain it, but again, it starts with the town council and mayor,
Okay, I'll go back there, but then I'll eventually see you guys again. All right.
after they send us something.
Thank you so much, I appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to come forward? Last call, okay. Seeing none, I make a motion to close the public session. Do I have a second? Thank you, Lance. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting's closed to the public. Is there any new business to discuss? Any old business? I do have a question. The coffee shop on Central Avenue, we requested that they make no left turns into the shop. The signage doesn't seem to be well-placed for
No.
people to see that.
Absolutely
Is there anything we could do to get it better placed? It's like, you don't even see it until you're making the turn or you're right on top of it.
And I've watched many people make a left turn in there.
Is there anything we could do to discuss with them, just better signage?
Yeah, I mean, we could take a look at it with the traffic engineer and see what we could do.
Thank you. Anything else? If not, our next meeting will be March 5th, followed by April 2nd and May 7th. I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mike, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.